How is it going, everybody? It's Simplymason here, coming to you guys with another video. It's been a while, like always, but I wanted to come and make something a little bit different, something that I haven't made in a while, and I'm going to be talking about film. It's something I really enjoy. I am a film major at a university, if you guys didn't know that, and I wanted to talk about the upcoming, not even upcoming, it's way too early to be doing this, but I wanted to talk about the Academy Awards for 2023. Now, I know the 2022 Academy Awards just ended, but I thought it would be fun to just talk about a year in advance. I haven't seen any of these movies, so I really have no idea if any of these are actually even going to do well. But I thought it would be fun to do this. So, as you can see on screen right now, I have Best Picture, and these are the 10 movies that I think will get nominated for Best Picture. Now, I'm just going to name them off and then I'll kind of talk about them a little bit later. I have Avatar 2, Babylon, Canterbury Glass, Don't Worry Darling, Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor Things, She Said, The Fabelmans, The Sun, Women Talking. And then as an alternative, as like maybe the 11th spot, I have Rustin. If you are wondering, I've never heard of any of these movies. There's an Avatar 2 coming out, something like that. I'll talk about them right now. Here we go. So Avatar 2 obviously is the sequel to Avatar by James Cameron. And I think it's going to be absolutely amazing, absolutely stunning. You can never doubt what James Cameron is going to be doing. So that's why I have it into Best Picture. I don't know if a lot of people do, but I do. Next up is Babylon. Now, Babylon is a movie by Damien Chazelle, who is the director that made Whiplash and La La Land and First Man, all critically acclaimed, and I think this one is also going to be an easy frontrunner. Now, this one is set in Hollywood, and it's sort of the turn of silent film era to the talkies, and I think it's going to be absolutely great. When you look at the cast, it's absolutely stacked. You have Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Tobey Maguire. It looks very good. So that's why I have Babylon. Easy pick for me. Canterbury Glass is a David O. Russell film, and even though David O. Russell doesn't have the best name right now, you can't take away that this has some amazing actors, and it's going to have some great portrayals as well in it. Now, we don't really know much about this movie. We know there's going to be a doctor and a lawyer, and they make like a partnership or something like that. But that's about all we know. Now, we do know the cast. It's Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, John David Washington, Rami Malek. But I think that's why it's going to be very, very popular, and it will get into Best Picture. Next up is Don't Worry Darling. I put this in because Olivia Wilde is the director, and I think she made a great movie with Booksmart. And I also like this cast. Florence Pugh and Harry Styles, I think, are going to do great. I actually like Harry Styles as an actor. I think he's very good. And this is also like a psychological thriller, maybe horror type thing. And what this is about is Florence Pugh is a housewife who I think is going to be in this dystopian 60s world, but she thinks she's in this 60s world, but it's not really what she thinks it is. Something like that. So it seems like a very interesting concept, and I think if done right, it can get into Best Picture. Next up is Killers of the Flower Moon, which is the Scorsese movie that is coming out this year on Apple Plus. I think Apple Plus will also be a great place for that to be because obviously Coda just won being on Apple. So that's why it's a great pick for Best Picture, and it's also Scorsese. Now, the people in this are Leo, Robert De Niro, Jesse Plemons, Brendan Fraser. Amazing cast. I'm looking forward to it. It's about a serial murders, some stuff like that in the 1920s, and I think Scorsese is going to knock it out of the park. It's an easy pick to go here. Next up is Poor Things, which is kind of a different thing than what you would expect maybe, because this again is like a weird type of thing. Basically, what I know about this right now is a woman is going to get a child's brain put in as her own brain or something along the lines of that. It seems like a really interesting concept. It's Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe. It's gonna be great. It's going to be really, really fun. Next up is She Said, which I think, again, is going to be an easy pick for here because just look at what it's about. It's about a bunch of women who were coming out about the Harvey Weinstein scandal, right? Look at the people that are in it. Carey Mulligan, Zoe Kazan, Patricia Clarkson. Amazing cast. It's going to be great, and it's basically Oscar bait. You're talking about Harvey Weinstein, Oscar bait. The Fabelmans is the next one. It's bold, as you can see, because I believe it's going to win. It is Steven Spielberg's magnum opus, I guess. I don't know. It's about his life. And obviously you can tell from what we've seen before at the Oscars, people like stories about their life, right? I mean, look at what just happened with Belfast. So The Fabelman, it's basically Spielberg's own childhood. And it has Paul Dano in it, and I love Paul Dano, and it's going to easily, I feel like, walk to the win. Next up is The Son, which is by Florian Zeller, who just made The Father. And I think it's funny that it's called The Son because if he doesn't make another movie called And the Holy Spirit, he's done it all wrong. But The Son is just about a son and a father's, I think, dynamic about, them not liking each other, probably having to fall in love with each other. And, it's an easy... it really is just an Oscar baity movie, and it has Hugh Jackman in it, and Hugh Jackman is going to do great things. Lastly, I have Women Talking, and when you look at this, it's the most Oscar baity movie ever. Frances McDormand, she's already won 3 Academy Awards. We know what she can do, but it's about the sexual assaults of women at, like, this religious colony. It seems very interesting. All of these movies seem so interesting. But Women Talking, again, another Oscar baity movie, and that's why I have it. Next up, I want to talk about Best Director. I'm not going to go over everything if I've already talked about the movie, but these are the best directors I have. So Damien Chazelle, David O. Russell, James Cameron, Martin Scorsese, and Steven Spielberg, and then an alternative of Sarah Polley. Now, I've talked about all these movies, but as you can see, I think this is just a stacked lineup, and Martin Scorsese, I think, is going to walk away with this win simply because he's directing so many amazing actors, and he's going to do a great job like he always does. Now, Damien Chazelle obviously could always surprise. Steven Spielberg could obviously surprise. But I think Martin Scorsese got this. And when you look at this lineup right here, you're looking at some absolutely amazing, amazing directors of the past and present. So it's great. Absolutely great. Next up, I'm going to be talking about Best Actor, and I have Brad Pitt in Babylon, Brendan Fraser in The Whale, Colman Domingo in Rustin, Hugh Jackman in The Son, Jesse Plemons in Killers of the Flower Moon, and an alternative of Christian Bale in Canterbury Glass. Now, I want to talk about The Whale and Rustin. The Whale is Brendan Fraser's movie where he's just coming back to Hollywood. It's going to be great. The Whale is about a 300-pound man, and Brendan Fraser is playing that man, and I think he's going to do an amazing job, and I'm looking forward to seeing Brendan Fraser back in Hollywood. I'm super excited. He's also going to be in, I think, Killers of the Flower Moon, which is going to be great. It's just an exciting year for Brendan Fraser. And then Colman Domingo. He's going to be playing a gay man. I don't know what his first name is, but his last name is Rustin. During the 1960s and, a lot of these big movements that were happening in that time. And it just seems super interesting. Bayard Rustin, I think that's how you pronounce it, in the civil rights activist who was gay in 1963, and it seems super, super interesting. So I think Colman Domingo is going to knock it out of the park. And everything else, obviously, so Brad Pitt, Hugh Jackman, and Jesse Plemons, all amazing actors. Jesse Plemons was nominated, and I think he's going to knock it out of the park again. Best Actress, I have Carey Mulligan for She Said, Frances McDormand for Women Talking, Margot Robbie for Babylon, Naomi Ackles for I Want to Dance with Somebody, Olivia Colman for Empire of Light, and then Florence Pugh for Don't Worry, Darling. I want to talk about Naomi Ackie for I Want to Dance with Somebody and Olivia Colman for Empire of Light because I haven't talked about these movies yet. So, I Want to Dance with Somebody is a movie about Whitney Houston, and Naomi Ackie is going to be playing Whitney Houston, and I think she's going to do a great job. I'm very much looking forward to that. Olivia Colman is going to be in a movie called Empire of Light. Empire of Light is the new Sam Mendes film, and Sam Mendes makes absolutely amazing movies. He made 1917, and now he's making this one. And this is about the south coast of England, I think, in the 1980s. You know, Olivia Colman, you can never count her out because she's always getting nominated. She was nominated this last Academy Award, so that's why I have her in here as well. The other women here are Carey Mulligan, Frances McDormand, and Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie, I think, is going to walk, basically. Or maybe she'll just easily just step onto that stage and win her Oscar for Babylon, because I think she's going to do a great job. And Frances McDormand, again, always gets nominated. And Carey Mulligan, I think, is going to give an absolutely amazing performance. So that's why I have these other three ladies here. Best Supporting Actor is a tough category, honestly. But this is what I have. John David Washington for Canterbury Glass, Paul Dano for The Fabelman, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Seth Rogen for The Fabelman, and Willem Dafoe for Poor Things. The Fabelman is going to have a stat cast. I love Paul Dano. I think he's an absolutely amazing actor, and I think he's going to knock it out of the park with this movie. The others, look at the names. Robert De Niro, you have John David Washington, who was in Tenet, which wasn't my favorite movie, but that's okay. And Seth Rogen. I'm so excited for Seth Rogen to not do something comedic. It's going to be beautiful to see. Now, the one I have winning is Willem Dafoe for Poor Things. Let me tell you about Poor Things. So like I talked about a little bit before for Best Picture, because I did talk about it in Best Picture, Poor Things is about a woman who gets her brain put in with a child's brain, and Willem Dafoe is playing the doctor. I'm very excited to see this because Willem Dafoe is one of my favorite actors. I love him. He's absolutely amazing. We'll see his amazing performance, and then you guys can tell me what you think about it. Last but not least, I want to talk about Best Supporting Actress. I'm not going to get into any of the other ones because it's just kind of too long to get into it. Best Supporting Actress, Jessie Buckley for Women Talking, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Michelle Williams for The Fabelman, Patricia Clarkson for She Said, Vanessa Kirby for The Sun, and then an alternative of Dakota Johnson for Cha Cha Real Smooth. I've talked about all these movies at the beginning, so if you want to get another re-up on what these are, go back to the beginning. These 5 women right here are very exciting. Michelle Williams, who is going to be in Steven Spielberg's new movie, The Fabelmans. I have her winning. But like I said, really any of these people, and for all categories as well, could easily be winning. So I'm very excited for this upcoming Oscars. Let me put the best pictures back on screen so you guys can see them one last time. These are the Best Picture nominees one last time, and I'll read them off for you. Avatar 2, Babylon, Canterbury Glass, Don't Worry Darling, Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor Things, She Said, The Fabelmans, The Sun, and Women Talking. That's what I think. Tell me what you guys think down below in the comments, and if you want to see more of this film talk, because I really enjoy talking about this, comment down below and tell me what you think. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Simply Mason, and I'll see you guys later.